My mother said, "You're the most useless child we have." The room went quiet. For the first time, I didn't shrink. I stood up and said, "Then stop calling me when you need money. My name is Linda. I'm 32 and the invisible middle child. Michael, my older brother, is the golden son, training to be a doctor. Karen, my younger sister, is the beloved baby, off to law school. Growing up, I felt like I had to work twice as hard for half the praise. Michael could get a B and be celebrated. I needed straight A's just to be noticed. When Karen threw a tantrum, it was cute. When I raised my voice, it was disrespect. When I chose marketing in college, my mother's face fell. Marketing isn't a real career, Linda, she said. It's just playing with pretty pictures. Why can't you be more like Michael and do something that helps people? What they didn't know was that for years I'd been quietly keeping the family afloat. For 2 years, I'd been transferring $1,500 a month to Mom for the car payment, while Dad's business faltered. I paid $3,000 for Dad's surgery when insurance wouldn't cover it. I used my house down payment savings, $4,000, to cover Michael's defaulted student loans. When Karen needed $2,000 to sit for the bar after blowing through her trust fund in Europe, I covered that too. Each time, Mom made me promise not to tell anyone. It would embarrass them, she said. That Christmas, I had news that finally made me proud. David had proposed in October. The ring was perfect, and I had just been promoted to senior marketing coordinator with a significant raise. For the first time, I felt seen. At dinner, I announced my engagement. Polite congratulations. Forced smiles. When Karen asked what David did and I said he taught high school English, my mother repeated, "A teacher," as if I'd announced I was engaged to an unemployed vagabond. Then she said what she had said 1,000 times before, only louder and sharper. "You're 32. You work in a job that barely pays the bills. You live in that tiny apartment. You've never really accomplished anything significant. You're the most useless child we have. I hope David understands what he's signing up for." The room went silent. Everyone waited for me to collapse into the old role, small, apologetic. But 32 years of being invisible suddenly had a voice. I stood up, looked at her, and said, "Then stop calling me when you need money." I opened my banking app and began reading transactions aloud. September 15th, 2022, $500 to Patricia Walsh, car payment. October 3rd, 2022, what $500 to Patricia Walsh. November 7th, $2,000 to Robert Walsh, medical expenses. I named account entries, amounts, dates. My father stared at my mother as if seeing her for the first time. Aunt Susan's mouth hung open. My grandmother nodded slowly, connecting the dots. "Remember Michael's student loans?" I continued. "Who paid those off?" "Me. $4,000 I'd been saving for a house." I told them about the bar exam money, the surgery, the monthly transfers, all the things they'd assumed no one noticed. Mom had insisted I keep quiet to avoid embarrassing them. I'd kept my promise until I wouldn't anymore. "You want to know what kind of man proposed to someone like me?" I asked, my voice steady. "One who sees me. One who knows I've been quietly supporting this family while being dismissed. One who respects what I do." I gathered my purse and coat. "Congratulations," I said. "You're about to find out exactly how useless I really am, because as of today, the Bank of Linda is permanently closed." 6 months later, I married David. We were surrounded by people who respected us, and by then, those who called me useless had finally learned the truth.